Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. We were having some issues with Zoom. All right. Okay. Okay. Anthony, you on? You sure you on?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a delay in Zoom. So we'll go ahead and get started. One second here. All right. So we'll let's see here. We might go a little over since we started late. This evening, guys, all we do is we keep the floor open for Q&A. So anything you guys want to discuss, whether it's the systems, the market, if you have particular trades you want to take a look at, you want me to take a look at. So anything at all, just go ahead and I'll open up the floor and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so whether it's Forex, stocks, cryptos, anything. Anything you guys want to talk about, you want to look at?
Hi, David. I was able to log in. Talak here.
Hey, good.
Yeah, on the Bitcoin, I noticed today, I'm using my phone today to log in, but on Bitcoin, we got a couple of yellow lines that developed a little bit. Right, yeah, right there. The yellow lines just do it. So can we expect, that's with the white candles, we can expect something maybe to go to an upward trend because they're not purple anymore?
Okay, the yellow. Okay, I see what you're looking at. The yellow support and resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good observation there. That's a really good observation. So yes, I mean, so what's happening here is that price, if you look from here, price made a low here, and now it's making lower, it's making higher highs and higher lows. So price is moving up. So yes, it's still not out of the woods yet, right? But the yellow support and resistance would indicate that price is moving higher. Okay. Okay. So that is good news. But we would still have to wait for a break of resistance. I would say a break of this resistance in here would perhaps give us a buy signal. Okay, so yeah, so what's happening here with price, let's do this here. That's a good observation. I'm glad you noticed that. So if we do this here, we did this here, you'll notice that price is making higher. It's moving higher. So a break above this area here, this is a bullish move. So yeah, we could see a break above a nice break above here. Notice that and when we have a kind of like a triangle like this here, as price moves into this, narrows the range, okay, narrows the range in here and gets towards in here, we could get a big explosion in price, a big move, a big candle. Either way, it could be to the upside or to the downside as price kind of gets squeezed, right? As price gets squeezed in here, okay, it will force the price to move either to the downside or to the upside, okay? Usually when we have an upward trend, a long trend, then the bias would be to the upside. So we have it's trending, it's creating a triangle in here, kind of like a wedge, kind of, right? Okay, so the momentum would be to the upside. So and
this all changed since yesterday. I mean, I've been watching this closely because at that sell signal, I dumped a bunch in the hope to pick it up at a lower price, and those yellow support and resistance weren't there yesterday. It was purple, and so yeah, that's a today move. Those yellow lines appearing today.
Yeah, and something we want to kind of keep in mind is that when we exit the trade, let's say we get a sell signal, whether we get a lower price or not, that's really not the key. Think of trading as how can I put this? Okay, because if let's say price moves to this higher, to this area here, and then gives us a buy signal, never feel like you've missed an opportunity. No, if the price goes down, we're never going to get the bottom and we're never going to get the top. The way I want you guys to start thinking is just, you trade in the move, okay? Whatever happens in between doesn't really matter, okay? So don't expect if price goes down and give you a better price, that's great, right? But that doesn't mean that just because let's say the price drops all the way down here, okay, and it gives a buy signal, okay, here, and you guys can see my cursor at, let's say 46,000. That there's no guarantee that it's that new trade will go all the way back up here, okay? If it gives you a buy signal here, it might go to 48,000, give you a sell signal to get out, and then, okay, so let's say you trade a long-term investor would yes, absolutely. As a long-term investor, we buying and holding. Yes, we could look for it to give us a great price, lower, and then we could hold it for as long as possible, right? Hoping that it'll go higher. But as traders, we don't matter. It doesn't matter. All we're doing is we're just going to capture that move. Whether it drops down and gets to here, whether it drops down and gets to here, whether it drops down, and it really doesn't matter. Okay. But I mean, we always want a better price, but that doesn't mean just because the price drops, right? We get a buy signal. There's no guarantee that it's going to go all the way back up and give us a decent run. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so
when the candles are in white color, what does that mean?
Okay, so the white, okay, so there are three different colors. Green, the green candles, that's a trend, an uptrend. So the price is moving higher in an uptrend. The white candles, that means price is consolidating. It's no longer trending, it's consolidating, okay? And then the red candles, that means price is moving to the downside. So green candles, price is moving up, higher. White candles, price is consolidating, okay? Usually between a support and resistance, kind of like here, okay? Purple support and resistance, yellow support and resistance. And the red candles mean price is moving lower, okay? So think of the red candles as bearish, and it's below the red moving average. Its price is below this red moving average. Green candles, price is bullish, trading above the green moving average, okay? And then white is no direction, kind of moving between, kind of, if you guys see here, the white candles are kind of in between the moving average here, in between. That's consolidation. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anything else? Okay, let me say this, okay? So if we take a look at Bitcoin here, yes, we can, if we get some green candles start to form, we get above this resistance in here, okay? We can start to get ready, okay? Get ready for a buy signal, okay? So if we get a buy signal, okay, right above this area in here, then that is very, very bullish. So you guys can do this. Just draw your lines in like here, kind of anticipate, walk the price, stay with the price, kind of walk it up, okay? And then anticipate if it gets to this resistance, breaks this resistance, you can anticipate a buy signal. All right, good job. All right, anything else?
If you want to go over a chart of the Nasdaq, that would be fine.
The Nasdaq, okay.
Yeah, it's lagging just a little bit for performance behind the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, with the exception of today. Today, the S&P 500 was the lagger, but if you can show them that, you can see that we just got a breakout on that one. Yeah. And what you have there is Google. You got Tesla. Those are like the two main drivers, and the biotech sector is starting to move up a little bit. So that's what's pushing the Nasdaq composite up.
Yeah, that's a great point. You guys, especially you guys that are trading Stock Boss and Bull Master, we really, with a buy signal on the Nasdaq, we are starting to see the technology sector moving. So if you guys look here, here's the tech sector. So XLK, that also has a buy signal. Okay, so we always want to look at the index. So the major index, so the Nasdaq is the index right here, the Nasdaq. Okay, so we got a nice buy signal. We on a break of this resistance. Here is resistance right here. We got a break of that resistance. Here's the buy signal right here. And Kim is right, it's moving higher. Okay, so we want to look at the sector. We want to look at the index rather, then the sector. So these are all the sectors right here. These are the indexes. So the major indexes, they're all blue and moving up. We have buy signals on all the sectors, all three indexes, I'm sorry. And then we hear the sectors. So tech, guys, we want to focus on tech because that's a new buy signal. Energy has been going for a while. So energy has been moving up for a while. There's still opportunities within energy, but technology, right here, tech has a fresh buy signal, okay? And it's a new trend. It's just now breaking out because right now it's at 24. Okay, so remember, anything above 20 is a new breakout. Energy is at 33, so it's been moving for a while. Okay, and going into the fourth quarter, technology usually does well. Okay, so fourth quarter, all that Christmas buying, all the iPhones, all of that, right? Going into the fourth quarter, that's great for tech. So if you go through here and look at your stock boss, and we had let's see here, a few today that came up in stock boss. I was looking at this one here earlier. We've got 3 here. So here is one here. That's a technology stock right here. Here is one. I don't like this. And then here's another one here. That's really good here. That's a good stock here. There was the buy signal here. That's a reaccumulation, so we could have added here. Okay. And then Bull Master. Let's see what we've got. Usually we'll get more in Bull Master. So financials. Let's see here. Okay, wow, we got a ton of technology stocks here in Bull Master. All these guys, all these are technology stocks that are moving up. Now, this is for today. I haven't looked at this. So I'm just gonna go through and you guys can see here. You guys see that here?
Oh, man.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's a buy. That's a perfect buy. Look at it. Break of resistance here, gapped up a bit, gave a buy signal here. Okay, at 56, and now it's at 66 here. So here's another one. I'm just gonna go through this because I think the fourth quarter with a buy signal on the Nasdaq, a buy signal on the sector. And this is an early move. If you guys can get on these moves early, could have a good fourth quarter. Here's another one here, perfect buy signal and a break of resistance. Here's another one here. I'm just gonna go through these. Another one here. Some of these are a bit pricey, but don't worry about that. There was a buy signal here. You can trade the options. Buy signal here, price is all the way up here. Another one here. And you guys are going to notice that all these stocks are running up. Look at that. Look at that. You guys see that?
Sure do.
Yeah. These are perfect breakouts.
So now, David, why does it gap up like that? Like when it's going up like that, you see like the big space in between?
Yeah, that's usually when it opens in the morning. Okay, so that's buying aftermarket buying that usually cause that. Yeah, we'll have that happen a lot in Sniper too, in Sniper Trader. All right, but you guys see that, right? I want you guys to see what happens when you have a buy signal on the index, a buy signal on the sector. It makes your work, I mean, it's a lot easier. Okay, and then all you do is you focus on this on the stocks within that sector. And I mean, look at these. These are all these technology stocks, guys, that are just running up. Look at that. They're gapping up. The institutions are buying them. They're just buying them. Look at that. I mean, look at that. And I mean, look at that was a buy signal here at $28, and now it's at 41, and that's a little over over 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so.
This stock, how do you safely enter into this stock?
What do you mean?
I mean, because so like, what's a good entry point? Do you just jump right in? Or do you
Oh.
wait till it retraces at the stock that we're looking at right now?
Okay, so ideally, we would have bought right here. This triangle right here was our buy signal. So the system gave us a buy signal to enter right here on a break of resistance. Okay, so that's a good question. So here was resistance. Here's resistance right here. So your first buy signal, your first entry, right? And your best entry is to buy right on a break of resistance. Okay, that's always your best entry. The reason why it's your best entry, because if the price fails, okay, if price fails and then gets to support and then gets, let's say we get a buy signal here, kind of like here. We got a buy signal here, price fails, okay? We always get a sell signal when price hits support right here, okay? So here was our buy signal, the blue arrow here, but right here on the candle, right here is where we got our buy signal. Price retraced, reversed, hit support, we got a sell signal. So we want small losses. We want to minimize our losses. Okay. If we trade, if we trade between the support and resistance, we have small losses. Okay. So ideally, we want to buy here. If price comes down and hit this support right here, we'll get a sell signal. However, let's say, for instance, we just enter in this area right here, right? Let's say we didn't follow the process, bought up here, then guess what? Okay, based on the system, you would get a sell signal down in here, okay? But to your question, this would be your first entry here, okay? This is the next resistance here. So if you wanted to get in, you could get in here on the break of the next resistance. Okay. Okay. So this is called reaccumulation. Okay. Reaccumulation. Every time the price breaks resistance, we can add to that position. Okay. You can always add on a pullback like here. So if price pulls back to the moving average, okay, to the moving average, you can add to that position, or you can enter your first position. It's just a bit riskier, okay? If we are going to do that, what I would like to see is to do that after some type of a consolidation and follow up like here, pull back to the moving average. We've got some consolidation in here, white candles. And then once we get a green bullish candle, it's now safe to enter the trade. Okay. That makes sense?
Good. So jump back, add more to the position at the break of resistance accumulation.
Yes. And the reason we want to do that is that every time price breaks resistance, guys, every time price breaks resistance, that means the buyers are still in control. Okay, the buyers are still in control. Okay, so as long as the buyers are still in control, we can continue to add to our position. And also know that when the price, and you guys can feel safe in knowing that. Let's take a look here. Okay, you guys really need to have a comfort level when price is in an uptrend and the candles are green. Okay, you know, and just focus on adding to your positions. Just like here, you know, dollars are right. It's in a nice uptrend. It's trading above this green moving average. It's got all green candles. I mean, you guys should be. Is anyone in this trade?
I am.
You are, Kim?
Yep.
You in dollars are?
Yes, I am.
And you still in.
Still in.
Good man.
Mhm.
Yeah, good job.
I was in it. I was in it all week, and then after last night's meeting, I don't know. We started looking at USD MXN, and actually, I got out of the USD ZAR, even there was no sell signal or something, and I put it all into USD MXN. The whole shebang into there, and it seemed to have been a good move, but I could see that if I would have stayed in the USD ZAR, it would have been all right too.
So Cam, you're a good man. Tyler, you're a bad man.
But everybody already knows that.
Yeah. Okay. So what we can do next time is just stay in this. Just stay with it. Okay. Because we have to show some discipline, right?
Right.
Yeah, and the reason we want to show discipline is that we want to increase our capital, okay? And in order to increase your think of just like the price here has to break resistance. Think of your trading as resistance also, okay? So as your knowledge increase, as your skill level increase, right, then you can increase your capital. Every time we make an error, okay, every time we make an error, or we don't follow the process, we're delaying our growth, okay? And your growth in trading is really the amount of capital you are able to trade, okay? So that, I mean, this happens to everyone. You know, I've done it. We all do it. We all do it, right? And it's really hard. It's really hard when you see because there's several pairs. We've got, I think sometimes we've got too many pairs, you know, but we've got to track them all. And you know, you'll see a group moving, right? And yeah, you will get out of a position and move things around. What I would recommend is you could take some profits. So let's say you had some profits in it, take some profits. You might leave a couple of lots in there, a few lots in there, take some profits, take that profit, and then you could put it in USD MSN. That makes sense?
Yeah, and I should have clarified. That's basically what I was doing. Is I thought, oh my gosh, this just because we talked about MXN yesterday, and then it had just broken that yellow resistance line, you know. So when we logged off, it had just broken that, and I thought, you know what? I had a pretty good run over here, and I got kind of excited that it just broke that yellow resistance line. I said, okay, this is good. So I put that in actually a little bit more capital, and it seemed to have worked out okay so far. Anyway.
Yeah, well, good job. I mean, good job. You guys are doing, you know, the little errors here, that's no big deal, right? We can fix that. Okay, we can definitely fix that. You guys are on the right side. That's what's awesome, right? You're on the right side of the trade, right? You're not on here, right? You're not
right.
you're not here. You guys are in here. So that's huge. And just think of it like this, right? The more times you are on here on the right side, okay, of the right side of the trade, even if you make some errors, whether it's mental errors or whether it's, you know, whatever, right? You still have a good opportunity to do well. So I applaud you guys. All right. And you guys are in here. You in USD0. These are the top movers. These are the top movers, right? So you're in the right trades. You guys are in the right trades.
As long as you're on that page, David, you see it's coming up the resistance over to the left. That I guess you want to call it. Yeah, that right there. And once this meets that right there, it may hit a little bit of resistance right there. And whether it goes through it or comes back down is yet to be seen.
Yeah. So yeah, it could hit resistance here. But who knows? I mean, you know, we could get a lot of buy-in in the Euro session. The Euro session will open around 3 a.m. in, you know, 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning, and we might not consolidate. I mean, we might just break through and not really consolidate through this area in here. All right, and the Asian market is opening up right now, so we never know, right?
So if you're hitting a resistance, would you put in a like a stop loss or a trailing stop to protect your profits?
We don't do stop losses. What we can do, we do a hard close. So we do a hard close on a sell signal, like here. This would be a sell signal. But what we can do to manage our profits, rather than doing a trailing stop. So let's say, for instance, we got in here. Here was our first position here. Okay, so the system gave us a buy signal right here on this break of this resistance here. This was our first position here. This resistance here, we could have added a second position here. So now we've got two positions. We would let it run. Once we get a purpose support and resistance, okay, purpose support and resistance, that means price is making a lower high, lower low, or a white candle here. Price is consolidating. We can trim positions. We can take some profits off the table. Okay, I wouldn't close the trade entirely. Okay, I would, you know, you could leave a small position in there and wait for the sell signal by the system. But I would definitely, if we get purpose support and resistance, a white consolidating candle, take some profits off the table, leave the rest, because, you know, price could keep going higher. As long as we're on this side of the trade, we're in the markup phase. Okay, price can continue to move higher. Just remember that. Okay, so we don't want to totally get out of the trade until we get a sell signal like this, but we can take profit as price is slowing down. Okay, that makes sense. You guys see the whole price, we got a purpose support and resistance here. White candles are coming in, and you notice how price kind of slowed down and then finally gave a sell signal. You guys see that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So rather than waiting for the hard sell, take some profits when we've got purpose support and resistance. Purpose support and resistance means that that's a downward move. You see here, purpose support and resistance. The price wants to move lower. Yellow support and resistance, price is moving higher. So that's our cue to take profits. Good question. Very good question. All right.
Hey, David,
Yes.
can you tell them why you wouldn't want to take profits right now? You could take some off, but guys, you have to think about it. When you have a nice strong signal like this right here on this USD MXN and the same on USD ZAR, what you're doing is you're limiting how much you're going to make. And why not make as much as you can? And the software will tell you when it's time to take profits.
Yeah.
That's something you have to think about. I've done that many times where I feel really good, made a nice profit, and the doggone thing keeps going, and I'll go back and I look at the chart like this, and I say to myself, why am I selling? Where's the slowdown? What makes me think that they're not buying? Let's put it this way. Tell them, David, when there's more buyers than sellers, it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
So in this instance, just follow the saying, let your profits run, cut your losses early.
Yeah. And we need, guys, when we get opportunities like this, right? You know, most of the time price will consolidate. I say 75–80% price will consolidate like this, right? Okay, so price will do something like this. Remember that, you guys remember the whipsaw song, right? The whipsaw
Yes.
song, right? So the way we make money, okay, is by cutting losses. Okay, so here was our buy signal here. Here was our sell signal. This case, we didn't take a loss, but we made a small profit. But guess what? We didn't have this big loss here. So we are constantly, just remember, we are constantly testing support and resistance. Okay, so we're constantly taking trades. And guess what? Sometimes we have losses, sometimes we have wins. It's a guarantee that we are going to have losses, but we want to have small losses and we want to have big wins. Look here, look here, look here, look here, look here, look here. This wasn't a loss, but we'll say this is a loss. Small loss, big wins. And we need the big runs, guys, to pay for our losses. Okay, so we talk about this all the time. We can have 9 losing trades, and 1 winning trade and still do really, really well. Okay, I mean, imagine that, right? We can have 9 losing trades and 1 winning trade and still do extremely well because of what we let our winning trade run. Okay, and we cut our losing trade. Okay, also, we want to have the mindset that, okay, we never want to try to get the top and we never want to try to get the bottom. So try not to think about tops and bottoms. Okay, try to think about, train yourself to think about getting the meat of the trade. You're not gonna get everything. You're gonna get the meat of the trade. Okay, the meat of the trade. So let's talk about that. Okay, here is the very top, here is the very bottom. Trying to get the top and trying to get the very bottom is a fool's game. You're not gonna get it. Okay, and the reason why you're not gonna get it is because you always, the institutions are gonna buy on the break of resistance. They don't buy at support. Let me repeat. The institutions are gonna get in these big candles here. That's the institutions that are buying. They cannot buy, they will never buy at support. They will short at support. All right, so the bottom, if you try to get the very bottom, guess what? It's not gonna work. You wanna get a break of resistance and you're never gonna get out at the very top. We're never gonna get, if we try to get out at the very top, guess what? You're gonna miss the run. Okay, we're gonna always get out on a break of support. Okay, so never try to get the very top, never try to get the very bottom. What we want is the middle. This is the middle. This is called the meat of the trade. Okay, this is called the meat of the trade right here, right here, right here. Okay, so never feel that you've missed an opportunity. Okay, we'll never get the very top. We'll never get the very bottom. Okay, that makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's do this. Yeah. Same thing on the short end, on the short, right? So let's do this here. Right here. Here's a short. Our entry will never be at the top, at the very top. Price has to break a support in order to give us confirmation, right? That, hey, price is moving lower. Okay, so we'll never get the very top. Okay, and then we'll never get the very bottom. Okay, So this is a second trade here. Don't worry about that. Here is the close. Here was the entry here to go short. Here was the sell signal here to close this trade here. Okay, price got above this resistance here, so we didn't close here. We closed up in here when price hit this resistance to say, hey, the buyers are getting in this trade. Although it failed, right? And look here, it failed, price failed, we got out here, price then, look at this, price then broke support, and guess what? We got another buy, another short signal to get in. Okay, so just because, you know, the system is smart enough to say, hey, if the selling resumes, we'll get back in, right? Or if the buying resumes, we can always get back in. But guess what? We've taken profits. We've taken profits. We've banked those profits, and now we're good.
Could we look at the stock Upstart and Palantir? I pulled the trigger today on Upstart.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Upstart, UPST, and Palantir.
UPST. Okay, let's look at that. UPST. All right. That's on the daily time frame we're looking at here.
And Monday's the earnings, so it
Okay.
usually blows up 100 points.
I'm actually in this one. I've been in it for a while, and I only have 100 shares. I got in about like 134, right around about your buy signal, David. And
Okay. Right
I'm still
here.
in.
This is a beast of a stock.
Kim, you're gonna at 134? Wow. Yeah, so what this is perfect. So yeah, this is, I mean, it recaptured this moving average. Here we've got a nice big bullish candle here. When is earnings coming out?
The 9th. Next
The
Monday.
9th. Okay.
I'm looking at. I can't tell whether it wants to go up or does it want to do the whole. Does it want to go towards down, like complete the mountain?
No, this is very bullish here. Yeah, it's bullish. Yeah, this candle here is a bullish candle. You know, good confirmation would be to break above this resistance here. If it gets above, let me take a look here on the a wider time frame. Hold on one second here. This is a new IPO.
It's started beginning of the year.
Okay, so it's a new.
It's like three earnings report already came out, so the Monday will be
Okay.
the fourth.
Okay, so it's a new. Okay, so we don't have a lot of history on it. Let's see here. So here would be all-time highs. So once you clear this area here, and I wouldn't even call this resistance. It's just a high. So once it clears this area here, which is 400, it could definitely move higher. But this is a strong stock. Yeah, I mean there's nothing. Oh, there's nothing slowing it down right now. Yeah.
Look at the 15 minutes.
What's that?
Can we look at the 15 minutes?
15. Oh, that's small.
Yeah, because I'm trying to, find a good entry point. Because it was on a downtrend on the 15-minute.
Okay, so are you trying to swing trade this or day trade or what? What are you? What's your objection with this?
Objective is to get in, trends back up right before open, and hold it for about 20 days, swing it.
swing it. Okay, so you might want to look at perhaps an hourly chart. Let's see here. So an hourly 2 weeks, 2 weeks hold time. Yeah, probably an hourly chart might be 15 is not enough for a swing. But yeah, so I would say if you can get, this is close to giving a buy signal on the 60-minute. So it might give a buy signal on the 60-minute if price moves a bit higher, because it broke this resistance right here. You guys see that?
Mhm.
Yeah, it broke this resistance right here. Here is accumulation. So it just got right through accumulation. Here's accumulation right here. So I would say if price holds and moves a bit higher, you can get a buy signal right about here on the 60-minute. And the 60-minute would give you a nice swing trade. If you want to move higher, you can do a 240, right? So 240-minute time frame.
Or like October the 13th, it gave us a buy signal. Could you use that same volume as confirmation for volume confirmation to get it bullish? See on the 30th, yeah, October 30th gave us a buy signal.
Right here, this buy signal here is what you're referring to?
Yeah, can you use that volume for those bars as confirmation for like today getting in?
I wouldn't, I mean, we don't use volume. If you want confirmation to get in, then I would use support and resistance. Support and resistance is really more reliable. And what you want is a close. You want to close above resistance. Okay, yeah, because you can have a spike in volume. You know, you can have a spike in volume and then the volume can come down, you know. So if you use volume in conjunction with support and resistance and your price action, yes, but not just volume, no. Okay, was there another stock?
Yeah, Palantir.
Okay.
PLTR.
PLTR. Oh, okay.
Today I added on position because it just broke resistance at 26.45. So I added.
Okay. Let's see here. No, this is a pretty good. Look at this, guys. Watch this here. Watch this here. You guys are doing a pretty good job getting these stocks. All right, watch this here. Okay. So here is your resistance here. That's pretty strong resistance, right? That's pretty strong resistance. That's what, gosh, for a year, a little over a year. Let's see here. Look at this. Here. Whenever you've got strong resistance like this, you can anticipate a big move. All right. So here is resistance. Here is support, right? Here is support. All right. We have an upward trend line here. We have an upward trend line here. Okay. But this is it. This is the biggest. You got this big area here, a wall of resistance here, got support. It's clearly gotten past support, okay? And now it's going to be testing this resistance here, right here, but the bigger resistance is right here. If it can break, if price can break through this resistance here, this resistance right here, right, you could get a powerful move to the upside. Okay, now it has failed before. It failed here, it failed here, it failed here. And it also failed on the smaller resistance. So on the smaller resistance, it failed, which is right near these buy signals here. It failed here, it failed here. You guys see that? Okay, so this is strong resistance here. This is very strong. This is month. Every candle here is a day's worth of data. Try to do your analysis, even if you're trading on a smaller time frame. Try to do your analysis on at least the daily time frame. Okay, so you can see a wider, see what's happening on a wider time frame. Okay. What's nice about this trade is that it's making higher highs. See, I mean, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs. We've got green bullish candles coming. Okay. Once it gets near this area here, the institutions will jump in. I mean, you could get a candle like this. So let's move this back here. You can get a big candle. You can get a big candle like this here. Okay. So the system hasn't given a buy signal yet. Okay. But it probably will soon. Once it gets past this resistance right here, it will probably give a buy signal. Okay. And this buy signal might be real. Usually if price, there's no guarantee, but usually if price fails 3 times, usually the 4th time, there's no guarantee, but usually the 4th time, a lot of times price will get through, okay, after 3 or 4 times. The first time, probably not, but if it gets rejected 3 or 4 times, and sometimes, a lot of times 3 times, if it gets rejected 3 times, there's a good chance that it will break through. Don't you think, Kim? Kim, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. Absolutely. Because you have to think about it. What's happening is that a lot of times in this range, that's blue range that David picked out, what happens is a lot of times you'll get, the institutional big buying hasn't started yet, but they may have been just nitpicking. In other words, buying small, very, very small positions to build a large position. And then once you get a breakout, then that's when they really start adding. That's when they really start adding. But most of the time in a situation like this, they're not doing anything at all. But sometimes they'll add little tiny small positions to try to to start working towards building a large position. And then when it breaks out, then that's when it moves. But you have to look at the right time frame though. Is this a daily chart?
Yeah, that's a daily.
Yeah, that's a day. Okay, so yeah. I would say they're definitely trying to push this thing up right here by looking at the failures. You have those at the resistance line. You have those sellers come in, and right there. Yep, there you go. And but I think the next time around when it breaks above resistance, I think it's going to go and you'll see David's buy signal come on.
Yeah, this is Kathy Woods from ARK Investment Hedge Fund. She went heavy in this one.
Oh, okay.
So
And I think the stock will run up to like $40, around $40 area.
Oh yeah, it could move. It could move pretty quickly. I mean, look at all of the buying here, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all of the buying. This stock can absolutely move. Okay, this is a great opportunity here. once it breaks. Now, keep in mind, let's say you're in this, right? You build in position. Just know that it's a bit risky here. Okay, so if it fails, just get out, right? Just take, because it could, if it fails, guys, that's it, just like here, it could spin, it can do this, right? And come all the way back to support. Okay, so just understand that and that's fine that you're in it, but just understand that it's risky here. And you know, we never, like I said, right, we're never gonna get the top and we're never gonna get the bottom. The reason why we'll never get the bottom is because we don't know. There hasn't been the institutions, the big money, they haven't shown their hand yet. Okay, so even with this buying here, they haven't shown their hand. Okay, so we have to understand that there are buyers here sitting at this resistance, and there are short sellers here sitting at this resistance. So price could get at, you know, the buyers are looking to push it up, but guess what? There are shorts sitting right here that could knock the price back down. Okay, so the only real confirmation, and it's not a guarantee, but it certainly will help with confirmation, is that a break of resistance. A break of resistance will show us that the buyers are in control. Can we get rejected? Absolutely. Okay, but we have a better chance, okay, getting above this area. That's why the system hasn't given a buy signal yet. Okay, if you notice, that's why the system hasn't given a buy signal yet. Okay, so just know that if price fails, and especially if, let's say, if price fails and then hits this support area in here, so you can mark this at 25.10. You want to get out. Okay, you want to get out because they could definitely push the price down. And guess what? If they push the price down to support, and guess what? Breaks this support level down here, price will then go a lot lower. All right. So the game is played right in here, right between support and resistance is where the game is played. All right. But good stock. I mean, this is a good, this is a good stock. Yeah. Whenever they consolidate like this and keeps knocking at the door of resistance, boy, when they break out, I mean, that's pretty good. We also have a triangle here. So if we did this here with price, you'll notice that price is being squeezed. So we can do here. Price is being squeezed right here. You guys see that there? See that triangle here? So yeah, if we can break this resistance here, yeah, we'll probably get a buy signal in this area in here. All right, good find. Anything else?
Thank you.
The VIX is moving lower, guys. So this is good for stocks. It's right at 16, right? 1641. All right, so it's holding. Ideally, we want to get it down in here. If we can get it, anything below 20 is bullish. Okay, but if we can get it down around the 10, 11, 12, that's even better for the market. That will push stocks higher, push the Dow higher, push the S&P higher. So we can't complain right now. The market is very healthy. I mean, anything can change, but right now we've got buying. We've got buying.
But
And
that healthy market, David, what happened with the sniper trades?
which one?
Well, Party is one of them.
Okay, so Party made a move.
Well, yeah, yes, Party, and then there was another one, not BXX, but the other one. The ones that we sold the ones that we sold half our
Yeah, PSFE also moved to the upside. VXX, we're still holding that. But Party did really good. And that should move higher. The hedge funds are buying that. I sent out a message earlier with an article that the hedge funds are buying this right here. Party. Okay. Keep in mind, this is an early move, right? This is an early move, but it's better. This buy signal is better than a sell signal, right? This buy signal here, this buying here is a lot better than this, right? I mean, we don't know how long price will last, right? This price action will last, but it's good. It's good to see. I mean, we could get a move like this, but then we could get a move like this, right? We don't know. Okay. Stay with your Forex pairs. Stay with these pairs. Okay, just stay with them. Keep an eye out on the yen pairs. I think the yen pairs will probably make a move. We've been getting buy signals in the yen pairs. Here's a buy signal here. It's too early. And we can't, here's another buy signal here. So we're watching this. We want to be in these pairs here, but just keep in mind that the yen pairs, we had a great few weeks with the yen pairs and did extremely well. Okay. We got buying coming in. So they might be the next move. We'll see. But there is definitely buying coming in. Here. So we've got several buy signals with the yen pairs. I think I think they will fail. You know, I think because these pairs here are really strong. So they're testing resistance. So we might get something like this where we get a buy signal with the yen pairs like this one here. Okay, and then we get a sell signal because I just don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready to move up yet because you guys, we just took profits in those. So I think we might get something like this where it try with a buy signal, hit support, and then perhaps try again, and then we might get this. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because in order for the yen pairs, it's just the way it works. Usually these will go together. The Aussie, New Zealand, and the yen pairs will kind of trend the same way. The dollar pairs, the euro and the pound pairs will trend in the same direction. So we would have to get some sell signals. Okay, sell signals in these pairs here, like the euro, the dollar, euro pairs right here, the ZAR right here, USD MXN. to then push these up, the yen pairs up. That makes sense? That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I know we started late, so I wanted to give you guys some time to make up for that time. So if there isn't anything else, we'll go ahead and call it a night.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good week. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, good night,
you.
guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
Hi,
Thank you.
guys.
Good night. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Right.